Maker's Mark 46 was a result of a series of experiments led by Bill Samuels Jr., the son of the Maker's Mark founders Bill and Margie. Maker's Mark 46 is the first new bourbon they've produced since opening the distillery. 10 seared virgin French oak staves are inserted into a fully matured cask-strength Maker's Mark batch. This additional finishing process lasts 9 weeks. Maker's Mark 46 is bottled at 94 proof. It is called Maker's Mark 46 because the one chosen was on file as stave profile number 46. As with most higher proof whiskeys, although it is best served neat, it works great for cocktails since the taste of the bourbon comes through better than it would with a standard 80 proof whiskey.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. As you see, I am going solo again this episode, and what we're looking at, what I'm tasting, finishing off this week is Maker's 46. So as usual, you totally can't see the bottle that I hold up because it's
sometimes plans go astray.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Maker's 46. Been drinking on it for off and on, actually, for about 2 weeks. And usually with most brands, like you take some of your cheap drunk juice brands, like Wild Turkey or Jack Daniels or Evan Williams or any of those, and a lot of times if you take and buy their more expensive, not mainstream expressions, you get a shockingly high quality, huge difference in the product. If you're willing to pay a little more, those name brands have resources to buy, the best casks, hire, basically the best cask makers in-house, and they have the resources to put them in the best warehouses and store them in areas that will enhance the flavor. And so with those bigger brands, you can really notice a difference in quality when you spend a little bit more. With Maker's Mark, I just didn't notice that. The thing with Maker's Mark is Maker's Mark is one of the 3 whiskeys that people start drinking when they start actually paying attention to what they're drinking. There's Maker's Mark, there's Bullet, there's brands that when you start paying attention to whiskey, those are the brands you actually go for. Maker's Mark is a high quality brand. And pretty much anything you buy from them, you're just going to get a nice, good, solid, stable whiskey.
And now my reputation for you is fact, is solid.
But it's also they're also really not known for having a ton of depth, having, a lot of complexities. I think the tasty notes that people talk about with Maker's Mark are probably, there's more BS talk to it than anything. Emperor's New Clothes kind of thing, where people say that they notice these expressions, these little tasty notes, but I don't think they really do. I do call BS on that. But it's a good, solid, quality whiskey. It's not that much. You should be able to get it for about $35, $40 tops for a bottle, and it's not bad for an everyday, if you just want, like, 2-3 fingers, right before you go to bed, like I do. It's not bad. It's decent, but it's just not spectacular. There's nothing. I wouldn't spend too much more on it for that. There's definitely better whiskeys out there for that price, but I don't know. Anyways, before I give my closing statements, Dark Helmet, do your thing.
Ludicrous speed!
So, it's good. There's nothing to complain about with Maker's Mark. Nothing to complain about at all. But there's also nothing to rave about. It's a good, solid whiskey. 94 proof. I've had better finishes. There's some upcoming solo episodes that I'll be doing where I was just absolutely floored, thoroughly shocked by how good some of the other finishes are for much less money. But it's good. It is a great. There's a reason why it's the first whiskey people start drinking when they're just starting to pay attention to what they're drinking. So, anyways, that's it for this week's episode. Tune back in next week. I think I'm going to be doing a Redbreast 12-year Irish whiskey. Yeah. So, anyways, see you next week. Another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. I'm going to finish my drink.